What's up guys, Sean here. I just wanted to do a little unboxing with you guys. I have a package in from Gritomatic, got some new sharpening supplies, and I also got some sharpening supplies from Hobby Lobby, believe it or not. And I'm gonna show you guys that stuff and show you guys some really cost-effective ways you can make some good stuff. So on my table right here, I have all the knives that I've sharpened on the TSPROF Cadet Pro so far. And in this box, I have some new stuff for the TSPROF Cadet Pro. One of my gripes with it so far is that it doesn't come with a bracket or adapter or some means of being able to clamp the knife right in the center as far as like smaller knives go. But having the clamps on to one side like this, I've been able to make it work just fine. I've been getting the feel for the system and it's really growing on me. But I do think once I can clamp it in the center with one, kind of wide, sturdy clamp, that I will like this a lot better. And that's what a lot of people have been telling me, is that they really like the center clamp on the TSPROF. So I got one right here and we're gonna check it out. And I was able to order this stuff thanks to my Paetreon members. I now have 5 Paetreon members: Brian Sherwood, Johnny Tran, Patrick Sam, Caleb Zahn, and Ryan Day. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much of a help you are when it comes to making stuff like this possible and allowing me to check out and review and be able to tell you guys what I believe is the best route to go when it comes to the TSPROF or when it comes to anything. But, to be able to check out any type of knives or any sharpening supplies, no matter what it is, it all takes money, because I do not have any sponsors or affiliates. I do have Amazon affiliate links, which I have a Amazon associate account. So anything that I link that is sold on Amazon, I can get a very small commission for. But I don't have any affiliation with any companies per se. So if you're interested in different ways you can support the channel, there's a list in every video description of all kinds of ways that you can support the channel, both financially and also for free. But let's see what we got. Very cool. All right, so I ordered a 4mm ball head hex driver for the TSPROF clamps. I was getting very tired of this little guy. This is the 4mm hex that comes with it, and I put a little magnet on it so I can just stick it on there. It's kind of always on the base so I don't lose it. But this is going to make things a lot more enjoyable per se. So excited, so happy to finally have some new gunny juice. This is the 3 micron. This one right here is the 1 micron gunny juice. Those are the two that I use the most of, and the two that I recently ran out of. I have all the other grip ratings. I have 0.1, 0.25, 0.5, 6.9, and 12. Now I have the 1 and 3 because those were the first ones that I completely used up. If you want to try out gunny juice, I would recommend getting the 6 micron, 3 micron, and 1 micron. Those have been my most used micron rated gunny juices for a long time. And from all the testing that I've done, my best test results, all my entire sharpening log, that seems to be what gives me the best results. So definitely recommend picking yourself up some gunny juice and some basswood. You can get basswood at Hobby Lobby, which brings me to my Hobby Lobby trip last night. I got me 2 fresh pieces of basswood. I'm not sure if you guys have heard me say it before or not. I think I mention it quite often, but sometimes I just think things and don't actually say them, just the way my mind works. But this is a 24-inch long, 3/16 of an inch thick, 1 inch wide piece of basswood. And I picked up 2 of them because, as you can see, this one's starting to get a little beat up, chewed up. This side's not bad, but this is my 0.1 and this is my 1 micron. So from time to time, I like to get some fresh basswood. And what I like to do, I like to cut it into smaller length pieces. Like this right here is 12-inch long piece, but you could do 9-inch long, 6-inch long, whatever you want to do. And if you get this, what is it, 3/16? Yeah, 3/16 of an inch thick basswood, you could actually technically cut this down to 6 inches and put it right into this TSPROF stone holder if you wanted to use it guided. But I strop exclusively freehand because I found that gives me much better results. It gives me a sharper edge, higher sharpness, it gives me better bite, a lot less chance of rounding your apex or over polishing it, polishing all the teeth away from your apex. That happens oftentimes with guided stropping. One, because a lot of people don't compensate for the difference in the thickness, and oftentimes they're stropping at an angle higher, and even if it's just a hair higher than what you sharpened at, unless you are literally applying no pressure, it's gonna round your apex like that, like very quick. And it's not gonna look like a rounded edge, okay? I'm talking about at a microscopic level. So your apex is gonna feel slick. Your edge might look perfect, very sharp, precise V-grind edge, but you run your fingertips down it and it's just slick. It doesn't, bite into your fingertips at all. That means that your apex is over polished. You polished away all the teeth. You rounded it. Whether you rounded it at a, to an extreme extent or a very minor extent, is still going to greatly harm or completely destroy the performance of your edge. And you just don't have the same feedback as when you are stropping in hand. Okay, so when you have the strop in your hand, I'm right-handed, so I can feel feedback through this piece of basswood through my left hand. So I guess the vibrations or whatever you want to call it goes through the wood, and I feel it in my hand, and I know what I'm feeling for because it's something you develop a feel and a sense for. You just have to do it, and it's like a trial and error thing. Nobody is going to naturally know just from the start. You just have to get it, and you have to try it, and you have to practice, and it's something that you get better with. Some people have kind of a knack for stuff like that, and they might pick it up quicker than others, but essentially I'm getting feedback through the strop and I'm getting feedback through the knife. So sometimes I will hold the knife at the handle, and in that instance, I'm getting most of the feedback through this hand. But sometimes I will reach my thumb out over top of the blade, and I put my thumb on the blade, usually lands in the middle of the blade, and then I can feel every vibration through the edge. I can feel if it is sliding across smoothly like two pieces of glass, or if it feels like it is scraping. If you feel like you're scraping, chances are you're most likely holding your angle too high. If you don't feel any type of resistance, and it just feels slick going across, most likely you are holding your angle too low, and then you'll end up polishing the face of the blade. So when you are at the perfect angle, you will feel a resistance, but it will also be sliding across very smoothly. There will not be any type of scratchy feedback that you'll feel through the strop or the blade. So stropping on basswood freehand is 100% the best way to eliminate any chance of rounding your apex. Gives you the most definitive feedback sensation out of any of the stropping options. You know, you have kangaroo leather, you have horse butt leather, you have cowhide leather. There's all kinds of different stropping materials, nano cloth, gunny cloth, all this stuff. Balsa wood. I have found basswood to be the best. I also tried basswood to be the best. I've also tried balsa, and balsa is a little bit too soft and it just doesn't work very well for me personally. But basswood, 100% recommend it. And if you do get a piece of basswood, these 24-inch long pieces are only $2.50. They're already smooth. I don't even bother sanding them, anything like that. You can if you want to, but I just load them up with gunny juice after I cut them to size. And I recommend leaving it long enough that you can get a good hold on it and also have some length to strop. So you might not need 12 inches, but I'd say, you know, somewhere around 8 or 9 inches would probably be ideal, just so you have that added stability for when you're stropping in hand. Because stropping in hand can be a little bit dangerous when you're first learning. That's how I ended up with this scar right here. Actually, I have a video on an alternative to stitches where I super glued my arm closed right there. It's in my sharpening playlist if you're interested in checking that out. A little bit gruesome, so if you're squeamish, might not want to watch that, but very useful information to know if you're big into sharpening, because let me just tell you, flat out, you're gonna cut yourself. It might not be every day, it might not be every week, every month, but it is going to happen. The more you are handling very sharp objects, the sharper you start to get your edges, and the more you are handling those knives, that is the more chances that you can end up with a really nasty cut, very bad injury. So, you know, you're gonna want to make sure you always have some type of first aid supplies on hand and within your general vicinity, and know a little bit about first aid. Know how to respond to certain things. If you slip and you hit an artery or something and you only have seconds to act, you need to know what to do. You need to know that you need to cut off the circulation to that spot. You need to tie it off. Whether you use your phone charger cord, I don't give a shit if you use, you know, a shoestring, whatever, but you don't have time to sit there and think about it. You're gonna have to act quick, and that makes the difference between life or death. So you know, we like playing, I love playing around with these knives, and a lot of it, you know, there's not a lot of serious attitude when we're talking about a lot of these things, but it can be very serious. So I just want to make sure that you guys at home are being extra safe and precautious. You know, I'm not an extra safe kind of person, but when it comes down to it, I'm going to ensure that I am able to stay around for my daughter. So, you know, I might not follow every little safety rule, but certain things you really should think about and consider and be prepared for ahead of time, so you know you don't unexpectedly, you know, leave this earth before you plan to. So anyways, that was a crazy tangent I just went down, but there's a lot of truth to it. So, you know, I care about you guys, I love you guys, and you know, I get on here and I just say what I feel like needs to be said. So, aside from that, also have a piece of cow leather on a aluminum blank for this TSPROF. I just got done telling you how I really like freehand stropping much more than guided stropping, but last time I tried guided stropping was on the KME. So just for the sake of being able to test it, because I test all kinds of stuff, all kinds of progressions and different things, and if I only tested what I think is going to work out the best, then I would never make progress. Sometimes you have to try things that you don't expect to work the best. So, you know, this whole sharpening thing, yeah, I may be a sharpening expert or a professional in a lot of people's eyes, but there is still so much that I have yet to learn, and it is a ever evolving and progressing thing. So I'm always continuing to learn and evolve, and I never write anything off completely, because, you know, I've been surprised many times finding that things that I didn't expect to work really well ended up working very, very good. So, just so, I mean, mainly for you guys, but also for me and the sake of my passion for sharpening, I got this because I need to know for myself whether, you know, guided stropping on this system is something I would recommend or not. Especially with this system having the built-in stone thickness compensator. Also in here, last two things we have, I have a center clamp for this. However, it's not the TSPROF branded center clamp. This is made by KAK Britva, KAKBRITVA, and this is a center clamp that can be used with the TSPROF, KADET Pro, the KADET, or the KO3. With you have to get the adapter that applies to whatever model sharpener you are using, but there's a company, the hell is it called? Gear Connect. This is all sold at Gritomatic.com, and this company makes different types of adapters, and also you can use different clamps that are made by different companies on the TSPROF. So I ordered this, and less than 24 hours later, my buddy Nick James had messaged me asking me if I wanted his clamp. He has the same exact one, and he doesn't use it anymore. And he said he wanted to give it to someone he knew. And I told him, I was like, damn, bro, I literally just bought that last night. And he's telling me I should return it. And, you know, he's sending this clamp out to me, and that I don't, you know, to save my money. I've never done a return with Gritomatic, so I have to look into that and see if I can return it. But his package hasn't showed up yet, and this one just did. I really want to test it and try it out, so we will see. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and take off my TSPROF whole milled clamps. And then interesting. Okay, so this uses the 4mm hex, which is nice, having this new driver. Don't worry, I didn't just drop that on somebody's knife. That is my personal knife. Nobody's knives will be harmed in this video. And with the Gear Connect adapter, they give you new screws and a larger washer. Damn, the only problem I'm seeing is that this adapter is not, it does not fill in the gap between this. And there's a thicker adapter that they make, and it says it's for the KO3. And I have a feeling I should have got that adapter instead, because this does not, it doesn't sit up against this clamp. So that does give me a little bit more incentive to return this clamp and adapter, if that's a possibility, considering I have one coming, and I believe the one that Nick is sending me, he is sending it with the larger adapter that completely fills in that gap. So we will see. But oh yeah, I already know, I can tell you right now for a fact that I am going to love this system with a center clamp. I'm very familiar and used to the KME system. That's what I've used for the past couple of years. And even before the KME, every guided system that I've used has been center clamp style. So that is what I have pretty much mastered before, and you know the little tips and tricks. Anything I need to do, I know how to maneuver to get it done with a center clamp. So that's going to be very useful. And then one last thing that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. For $2.99, I got myself 2 of these chisel tip or wide, what the hell is it called? It's just called a chisel tip Sharpie. Okay, and these are the wide tips. These are so helpful when it comes to sharpening and marking your edges. It is so much easier marking out your edges with this wide tip and being able to get a nice, wide coverage compared to a regular tip Sharpie. I mean, it is night and day. And I like really getting everything covered, even up above where I'm expecting to sharpen, because that allows me to see if anything is, if there's any metal shavings or diamond particles or anything that might be scratching. Oh shit. That's sharp as shit. Might be scratching the face of the blade. You'll be able to see immediately if any of that's starting to go on if you have the Sharpie there. The Sharpie will be the first line of defense, and then, I mean, it's not much, but it does offer a very, very slight level of protection when it comes to scratches and stuff. And as you can see, that sliced my skin straight up. This is one that I'm in the process of sharpening. I have finished sharpening this portion of the edge, and I have a nice crisp point on there, nice even bevels, and I have just yet to sharpen the tip portion, but that's going to be next. I was kind of holding out until I got the center clamp to do the front, the tanto edge portion, but we will see. So anyways, this one's getting long. I gotta get going. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.